In this week's edition of the Rebel Report, we begin with the women's volleyball team and the success they had at the tournament, as well as all things basketball, starting with the men who face off against Southern Utah and Arizona State University in the first two road games of the year, as well as the Lady Rebels team in the middle of a hot start to the season. The national final Rodeo continues to sell out crowds. All of this and more coming up next.
Welcome back to Studio F on the campus of UNLV for this week's edition of the Rebel Report. We also want to thank those who found us on KCLV Channel 2. I'm Shakira Hawkins.
And I'm Barbara Farkas. For those of you new to the show, we are all broadcast journalism students from UNLV covering everything Rebels and major sporting events around town. Recently, UNLV has had some major success in the NCAA Tournament. UNLV men's head coach Rich Ryerson will join us in just a bit for this week's Rebel Report timeout, but we'll begin the show with some volleyball.
Cindy Frederick, the winningest coach in UNLV volleyball history, took her squad to the NCAA Tournament for only the second time in school history. The first was nearly 10 years ago in 2007. Cassie Soto shows us our ladies some success in the big dance before the season eventually came to an end.
For the first time in program history, the UNLV volleyball team won its first game in NCAA tournament competition on December 2nd against Utah. The Rebels traveled to Provo with a 23-7 record to face the 20-11 Utes. The Rebels opened up the contest with a .425 hitting efficiency with 20 kills against 3 errors and 40 swings. The Rebels out-hit the Utes by 52 points with the help of junior Alexis Patterson's double-double of 49 assists and 11 digs. Senior Bree Hamill led the Rebel attack with 18 kills. She also had 2 assists, 8 digs, and 7 total blocks on the defensive side of the net. The Rebels came out on top with a 3-1 victory over Utah. The ladies stayed in Provo to face the number 10 BYU Cougars on December 3rd. The second round in NCAA tournament play didn't go as planned, and the Rebels season came to a close as they fell 3-0 to the Cougs. The Rebels finished with a 24-8 overall record, a tie with the 2007 squad, who also made an appearance in NCAA play but lost in the first round. The Rebels will be saying goodbye to 6 seniors this year who helped add to a program best of 82 victories in their 4 years. For the Rebel Report, I'm Cassie Soto.
The Rebels shouldn't keep their heads down for long. The team started the season with the program best 11-0 record and tied the team's record with the most program wins. Coach Frederick reached the 200 mark earlier this season.
The Runnin Rebels went on their first road trip of the season, squaring off first against Southern Utah University on November 30th, then against Arizona State on December 3rd. Justin Guzman lets us know how things turned out.
The drive, the layup, it's good for UNLV.
After opening the 2016-17 season with a 6-game homestand on Tarkanian Court, the 4-2 Runnin Rebels traveled to Cedar City, Utah for its first of 2 road games. We start off against Southern Utah Wednesday, November 30th. Todd Simon, now SUU head coach, last year Runnin Rebel interim head coach. A victory against his old squad would be nice, but Dwayne Morgan had other plans. He had a beast of a game, scoring a game-high 19 points and adding a career-high 14 rebounds. Javon Mooring chipped in, scoring 16 points, 2 for 2 from 3, and Chris Clybourne nearly had a perfect game, going 6 for 6 in field goals, 3 for 3 from behind the arc, but missing his only free throw attempt. UNLV wins 89-81. Now on to Game 2. December 3rd, Tempe, Arizona, Arizona State University. Rebels trying to keep the momentum going. Jalen Poyser and Terrell Green did their best to keep things interesting, but the Sun Devils cruised to a victory in this one. Poyser attacked the basket on his way to 20 points, and Green was a rebound shy of a double-double. But it wasn't enough. Sun Devils led by 19 at the half and never looked back. They wound up tying a school record with 18 three-pointers in a 97-73 route. Rebels now look to play their first game in the new T-Mobile Arena on December 10th against the number 5 team in the country, Duke University, for the first time in 25 years. For the Rebel Report, I'm Justin Guzman.
The road only gets tougher for UNLV. 3 of the Rebels' next 5 games are against teams in the top 25. Number 5, Duke, number 23, Oregon on December 17th, and the 4th-ranked Kansas Jayhawk on December 22nd, back here at the Thomas & Mack.
And speaking of that Duke game, December 10th will mark the first time in over 2 decades since the Runnin Rebels have faced the Blue Devils. This has been a long time coming for Rebel fans. Luis Negrete joins us now with a little history on this rivalry.
Many of us weren't alive the last time Duke played the Runnin Rebels, but if you're a Rebel fan, you know the bad blood goes back decades. The once rivalry so big that Duke head coach Mike Krzyzewski actually came to UNLV to speak about it with Marvin Menzies a few months before the start of the season.
Smack the ball on the other end because UNLV sending all 5 men to the boards.
It's been 25 years since the last time UNLV and Duke faced each other, when Duke defeated a 34-0 UNLV team in the national semifinals in 1991.
Duke has done it. Duke has upset UNLV.
The year before that, UNLV won its first national championship after a 30-point win against Duke, something that Coach K will always remember.
Everyone says, well, you beat us, and I'm saying, do you know what happened the year before?
Right.
You know,
I forgot about that one.
It's the biggest loss in the history of the NCAA championship. And I was part of that game, but not on the side that had the 30-point lead.
Since those days, UNLV hasn't been back to the Final Four, and Duke has won 5 national titles. But despite the differences between both programs, Coach K knows how valuable the UNLV brand is.
But the UNLV brand of basketball has not gone away. It may need to be heightened. You know, that's what he's going to try to do. But it's there. You know, you have a tremendous history of success and a style of play that really made other people want to play that way.
UNLV has had a tougher schedule this year, facing schools like Arizona State, Oregon, Kansas, and Duke. But to Coach Menzies, this is an opportunity to bring back the program to be a top contender.
Anytime you get a chance to play a team like that, and not just Duke, but any ranked team, you know, all real competitors should earmark it and say, hey, we got to make sure we bring it.
Marvin Menzies believes that having top teams like Duke on the schedule will benefit the recruiting process going forward.
Being able to play, you know, a program like Duke and some of the others that we have on our schedule, Oregon, Arizona State, and so forth, are all selling points. You know, we like to just paint it like it is, and hopefully they like what they see. But that was definitely one of the points.
For the Rebel Report, I'm Luis Negrete.
And a few days before this game, it was announced that T-Mobile Arena has been sold out, which means Rebel fans are really excited about the matchup, even if UNLV are heavy underdogs in the matchup. Now I'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Despite the Blue Devils being the favorite to win, hopefully the game will pave the way for many UNLV Duke games going forward.
Winter break may be fast approaching, but the Lady Rebels are off to a hot start with one of the most talented teams in recent history. Haley Brooks brings us up to speed with the Lady Rebels and why the team feels it's playing so well.
Off to a fantastic start to the 2016-2017 season, the Lady Rebels have a record of 6-1, with all wins leading by double digits. So far, the team has conquered Concordia, Houston, USC, Tennessee, and Ole Miss. But BYU handed them their first loss at the Maui Jim Maui Classic in Hawaii, where they came back in Game 2, beating out the Idaho Vandals 73-61. The ladies say what separates the Rebels from the rest of the competition is their personality, competitive spirit, and energy on the court.
They have a lot of energy. There's a lot of personality on this team, so I feel like that really correlates with the amount of energy that we're able to give out to our fans and to each other on the court.
To me, to be a Rebel, it means to being tough and to have heart. We're competitive. We're really competitive. Very competitive, and we have a lot of energy, and everyone's hardworking.
The biggest thing that I take away from being a Rebel is just the family, the sort of family atmosphere that it has here, and really feeling like you're a part of something bigger than yourself.
I'm Haley Brooks for the Rebel Report.
At the time of this taping, the ladies have a 6-1 record. You can join the Rebel family by catching the ladies on the court before Christmas at the Play for K shootout at T-Mobile Arena starting December 19th, or when they return to Cox Pavilion to take on Colorado State on the 29th.
The Walker Cup match is the biggest tournament for amateur golfers. Playing in the Walker Cup match is every collegiate golfer's dream. For John Oda, he's one step closer to making his dream become reality by getting invited to the USA practice session. Men's golf John Oda is currently ranked 22 in the world. The Rebel Junior will participate in December's practice session for the 2017 Walker's Cup. We caught up with Oda to see how he prepares for the session.
I had a great spring last spring in my sophomore year, and kind of bled into my summer, had a good summer, and I kept it going and had a good fall. I had 2 wins this fall, which is really great. I'm really proud of that, and I think my great play allowed me to get invited to this practice session. My buddies and I, we were talking about it. I mean, I knew with my current world ranking, that I would be sort of in the loop, and to finally get that phone call to confirm that I did get invited to the practice session was pretty cool. As far as to my career, I mean, I'm still not on the team, so this is a great honor just to get into practice session. It'll be good to continue to play well and be a part of the actual team in September.
Getting invited to this practice session doesn't necessarily mean that he is guaranteed a spot in the Walker Cup match. Oda knows that there's still a lot of work that needs to be done before making the squad.
I've been really focused on preparing for each tournament the best that I can, make sure I practice, make sure I work out, make sure I sleep right, and have all my eggs aligned so I can do the best that I possibly can. You know, just to be able to play for my country. I mean, you watched the Ryder Cup this past year and how, you know, golf is such an individual sport, and to see a group of guys to get together to play for the country, it's unbelievable, and there's no better tournament I'd like to be a part of as well.
The practice session will take place December 14th. UNLV has only had 2 players make the Walker Cup team in history, Chris Riley in 1995 and Ryan Moore in 2003.
The bowl matchups are set, and it's time to get excited. The Las Vegas Bowl celebrates their 25th anniversary with an exciting matchup between the nation's #3 rushing defense and a Las Vegas native who ranks 2nd nationally in rushing yards. I was there to catch up with the 9-3 Houston Cougars accepted an at-large invitation to the 25th annual Las Vegas Bowl and will face back-to-back Mountain West champions, 10-win San Diego State, at the Sam Boyd Stadium Saturday, December 17th. Traditionally, the Las Vegas Bowl is a matchup between the Mountain West and the Pac-12.
Deflected, picked off on the sideline. Almost another pick 6.
But the Pac-12 cannot fulfill its 2 remaining contracted bowls, with Pac-12 teams already slotted to play in 6 different postseason games.
It was a little dicey there for a while with us potentially having to, well, we did have to go at large when the Pac-12 didn't fill their slot. With Washington playing up in the college football playoff. Luckily, we were able to get a head start on it and gave us about 10 days, maybe 2 weeks to try to negotiate a deal to get another team here. Ultimately, we found Houston that was interested in potentially playing somewhere else. You know, we had Vegas to offer them, an unbelievable matchup, playing a champion from the Mountain West, and then the opportunity to finish their bowl game early so they can get their new coaching staff in there to get going.
Houston is the first member of the American Athletic Conference to appear in the Las Vegas Bowl, and it will also mark the first year that the game will feature a team from the state of Texas.
Unbelievable, and at one point, I mean, you know, and you look at the teams that they beat now, I mean, they're still up there, so it's not like they fell off at all. Houston got to #5 in the country, phenomenal offense, phenomenal quarterback. They're incredibly talented from top to bottom. So, you know, the one thing I'm excited about is it's a team that doesn't traditionally come out west. And this is the first time we've ever had a team from the state of Texas in our game. It's something different that, you know, year in and year out we sell the local crowd of it. It's an experience like you've never seen before here out at Sam Boyd Stadium or with the Bowl. And, you know, now we're living up to it. It's a little, you know, Texas versus West Coast matchup that I think everybody's going to be real excited about. I'm excited about the matchup.
The Las Vegas Bowl has enjoyed crowds of more than 32,000 for 10 consecutive seasons, including sellouts in 8 of the 11 years at Sam Boyd Stadium. In last year's edition, number 22 Utah defeated BYU 35-28 in front of a crowd of 42,213, the second largest team sporting event crowd in state history. For the Rebel Report, I'm Barbara Farkas. This will mark just the third meeting between the Aztecs and Cougars, with Houston leading the all-time series 2-0.
As we wrap up the fall semester at the Rebel Report, it's important that we make sure to check out our teams we're going to be reporting on in the spring. UNLV Baseball is coming off a sub-500 season, but has been busy preparing for 2017. Here's Lindsay DeValle with a preview.
November 4th, our UNLV baseball team played in their championship game of their Scarlet and Gray Inter-Squad World Series. The two team captains were each the head coaches for the different teams. Junior Peyton Squire led the Scarlet team and senior Justin Jones for the Gray team. In the end, the Gray team came out on top in extra innings, and junior pitcher Brian Menendez was given series MVP. He spoke to us about the team chemistry.
It's grown. It's grown from the beginning. We started pretty low where none of us really got along pretty well, but the bond's stronger now, so it feels good. We're excited about it. Hopefully we can pull out some wins from big teams that we're facing, but overall we should be fine.
With such close games, it's exciting to see the potential of this team, considering season is just 2 months around the corner.
Our expectations coming into the fall were finishing better than we came in, and I think we met those expectations. I think everyone finished a lot stronger than when they came in. 2 months of the offseason, you come back in January, season starts in February, so it's a big offseason for everyone, very important offseason. Get your priorities straight, come back strong, and ready to go.
Make sure to be ready for February when baseball season kicks off, and once again, it is time to fear the stash. I'm Lindsay DeValle for the Rebel Report.
Spring just wouldn't feel the same without baseball season. I know we're all going to be in huge supports, and we hope to guys see you out there too.
Giddy up and put on your cowboy boots, Rebel fans. This year's National Finals Rodeo may have sold out, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy any of the action from your living room. Leonardo Schauer has you covered.
The world's best cowboys are back in Las Vegas to compete for over $5 million in front of 170,000 rodeo fans at a packed Thomas & Mack Center. 10 days of pure adrenaline. And the highest of highs, and quite a few lows. The Super Bowl of Rodeo features all the big events, from tie-down roping to steer wrestling, bareback bronc riding, and of course, bull riding. Even a little parallel parking with horses, because why not?
Got a question for you. How many people in this building tonight do not have to go to work tomorrow and you're pretty darn happy about it?
No, not me, Mr. Announcer. As Paul McCartney would say, some of us have to work 8 days a week. But at least when I go to work and steal my coworkers' lunch out of the cooler, they don't throw a tantrum like this. I guess we're not all cut out to be cowboys. One guy who is cut out to be a cowboy, however, 20-year-old Roscoe Jarbo. With an 88.5, he was the big winner in round 2.
You come out around the right, and about went me down that first round, sat back up, and I seen a lot of sky right there. My chin wasn't tucked, and then about 6-7 seconds, he went back the other way, and I was just hoping that whistle was coming quick.
But Sulphur, Oklahoma's own Brendan Eldred had something to say in round 4, passing up Jarbo with an 86.5 ride.
You got to be prepared for anything, because these are the greatest bulls in the world, and you can either get on just a pretty nice one or you can get on one of the rankest ones in the world, so you just got to really be prepared for anything.
The races for glory are heating up at the 2016 National Finals Rodeo, and we're just here to take it all in. For the Rebel Report, I'm Leonardo Schaefer.
Another big standout at NFR this year has been 18-year-old saddle bronc riding sensation Ryder Wright. In his NFR debut, Wright took first place in his first 4 events, moving up from 14th place to 2nd in the rankings. Now we go from riding in the dirt to playing in the grass. It's time for this week's Rebel Report Timeout. Here's Cassie Soto with Coach Ryerson.
Rebel Report Timeout.
Thanks, guys. Welcome to the Rebel Report Timeout. I am here with men's soccer coach, head coach, Rich Ryerson. Hola, coach. ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, gracias.
Muy bien,
Sí,
muy
sí.
bien. So let's get started on this guy. It's safe to say it was a slow start to the season.
Yeah.
Rough patch. You ended up at NCAA Tournament play. What triggered during the season?
I think there was a belief that we were doing things right. We wanted to stick to the plan. We believed in the guys that we had that were playing. And it was just young mistakes, I think, early on. And so as the team matured, we had great depth, and fortunately we were healthy. And yeah, things turned around at the end.
And obviously, you know, the ending of the NCAA play, not where you wanted to be, but how proud are you of the guys overall?
Well, right now, Denver's in the semifinals this weekend, and so if they win the whole thing, then we were beat by the eventual champion. So I'm rooting for them, but extremely proud. I mean, this hasn't been done since 1985, actually the last time we made it that far. So I think it was a huge accomplishment, especially when we were 2-7 at one point in the season, and we were able to win the whole thing.
Definitely. And then talk to me a little bit about the PK shootout. As a coach on the sidelines, you know, as a player, I'm sure you went through that a few times, but as a coach, just watching your guys one-on-one, what's that like?
It was exciting. I mean, I love it. Some of our coaches can't watch. One of my assistant coaches, he turns around for everyone that we shoot. But we had a great crowd, great support in San Diego. We had our flags, UNLV flags, and the Hey Reb mascot logo on flags in the crowd at San Diego State. So it almost felt like we were at home for those last penalty kicks. A little nerve-wracking. I thought we would win in the 5 shots, but it took a couple more.
But you got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moved on after that.
Yeah.
So I see on the website, you know, and that we've been talking about, only a few seniors, you know, graduating. So you kind of have a young team. Tell me, now that they know how to play with each other, how is that going to benefit them next season?
Well, we only lose one player. We lose a goalkeeper, Richie Garness. And so, yeah, it's the same group coming back. We've got a lot of work to do in the spring. We don't want to have those lulls in the season, so we want to be more consistent. But 1 year more mature, 1 year together, I think is going to benefit us pretty well.
Yeah, and then on one player specifically, let me read this so I don't mess it up. Danny was named NSCAA All-West Region second team for the second time. How proud are you of him and his 12 goals this season?
Yeah, he was hurt in that span that we weren't winning games. He's the biggest goal production that we have, leading scorer. People know who he is, so if they do kind of focus in on him, it opens somebody else up. So he's a big part of the team, and I think next year we're expecting great things for him.
Yeah, and then just focusing on you a little bit, being a player back in the 80s, now being able to coach the team, how cool is it? You took the team to a few NCAAs yourself, coming full circle and
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the expectation is that you're going to win. I mean, that's what you go in hoping, and to actually have it come to, you know, fruition twice in 3 years is amazing. My guys that are going to be seniors next year, they will have won, you know, the 2 and 3 years right now, they won the WAC championship. So we're hoping they can get a third one, and obviously for me it's huge.
Yeah, and then looking back at the season, what are you going to remember most and taking that forward to next season?
Well, I think, you know, the penalty kicks, that was a lot of fun, being on the field after the game, the excitement of the guys, you know, getting a goal against Utah Valley to beat them in the tournament, winning the WAC championship against Air Force. I mean, those were the highlights. Some great moments, I think, for the guys this year.
And then any predictions for next season? What are you expecting from the guys? Any new recruits maybe even that you're looking
Yeah,
for?
we've got 3 verbal commitments right now. They can sign in February. They're all in-state guys. We're excited about those 3 guys coming in. Expectations for next year is to work hard and do the right things in the right time, and great things will happen.
And you just said some local guys. You know, we have Danny Henderson, right? I
Yes.
believe. So how neat is that, being able to recruit local guys? You know, we get a lot of Californias and Arizonas, but staying at home.
Well, for us, the model has always been, we have right now, I think 19 out of our 28 guys are in-state players.
Oh, wow.
So we're well over, you know, 2/3 of the team that's in-state. The local player for us, whether it's Reno or the Las Vegas area, Reno doesn't have Division I men's soccer, so we consider them local players for us too. So
only in that case.
yeah,
Reno
exactly.
local.
Hey, we've never lost to Reno. You know, we've never lost to those guys. But
that makes one.
Yeah. But you know, I think the thing is that we need to keep the local guys here that can play at this level, and then we find a couple players. Hawaii's been great for us. Colorado, and Utah. So, you know, our surrounding states help us, but this year we had a player from Germany who did extremely well for us as well. So, you know, it's the local guys are 2/3, and then we find the rest from there.
Perfect. Well, we wish you the best of luck next season and the seasons to continue. And you just said that you're taking some classes to get your master's degree. So good luck on
Well,
that.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I know how hard it is as a student.
Yeah,
so.
we're juggling it all. So
Right.
I'll see you in the library.
Definitely, definitely. All right. Well, back to you guys at the desk.
This week's Outstanding Rebel of the Week goes to a Lady Rebel who helped the team win their first home tournament since 2005. Nikki Wheatley, a junior point guard, is this week's Outstanding Rebel of the Week. This Lady Rebel outshined all other student athletes last week at the Lady Rebel Roundup. They won against Tennessee State and Ole Miss. Wheatley averaged about 15.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 1 block over the course of this home tournament. The California native helped secure UNLV's first win for their home tournament. In her efforts, Wheatley was named MVP of the tournament.
It feels great to just bring everything together. I still need to work on my free throws, but I feel like I did a little better job. And I felt like I wasn't rebounding as much as I could in the first couple games, so I kind of made that a point this game, and it was great to come out with 10 rebounds. It's not like anybody out here has to come out and score 20. It's more of just being able to work together, and I felt like that was kind of, I was just trying to get the ball moving, get some assists, get some boards, get the ball pushing on transition. We have some really athletic and really talented guards, and I think that's a huge threat for us. So all of us working together, me, Dakota, Brooke, all of us working together to attack, it's a real threat for the other team.
The Lady Rebels fell to BYU at the Maui Classic, making their winning record to 6-1 overall.
Student athletes must maintain good grades to continue playing on their team. The Academic Success Center plays a big role in keeping these students' grades up and graduating these students with the top GPAs. In fact, our students have set a record. Jennifer Hurtado explains rising graduation rates.
UNLV's student-athlete graduation rates are at an all-time high in comparison to the general student population, according to the NCAA Graduation Success Rate Report.
The Academic Success Center has always been very helpful to the goals that I want to achieve. Also has helped me persevere through failing classes and making up for those classes in order to reach my graduate goal.
Director of Student Athlete Academic Services, David Wheatley, attributes this to the close relationship advisors maintain with students.
We began working with these student athletes while they're juniors and seniors in high school during the recruiting process. So we get to know them very well, get to know them and their families, which begins the success of these student athletes because we kind of have a family environment here. They know that we're here, we care about them, and we'll kind of do whatever necessary to make them feel comfortable at UNLV.
Overall, this past school year, 50% of student athletes maintained a 3.0 GPA, and 171 were named to the Dean's Honor List. For the Rebel Report, I'm Jennifer Hurtado.
If you are a student athlete who needs a little guidance with graduation, visit the athletic advisor for help.
Well, that's it for this week's edition of the Rebel Report. We'll be back next week with our final show of the semester, covering the showdown between Duke and UNLV at the T-Mobile Arena, plus the latest on bringing an NFL stadium to town.
You can catch us on our previous shows on our YouTube channel, Rebel Report UNLV, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Rebel Report UNLV. See you guys next week.